The story of Cain, the first murderer in humanity, is one of the most mysterious and enigmatic accounts in the Bible. But a specific detail in this story raises a disturbing question that echoes to this day. Who did Cain marry? According to the Bible, Adam and Eve were the first humans. How is that possible? You're about to uncover answers that will challenge everything you thought you knew. Whether you are a faithful follower of the scriptures or someone who views them with skepticism, this is one of the questions that fascinates and sparks curiosity. The Bible clearly states that Adam and Eve were the first human beings, created directly by God, and that Cain, their son, was the first to be born. But, who was his wife? Where did she come from? And what does this mean for the history of humanity? To understand this, we need to return to the book of Genesis. After committing the first murder in history, killing his brother Abel, Cain was exiled and went to the land of Nod. And there, he found a wife and had a son, Enoch. But, where did this woman come from? This is where things start to get intriguing. Many biblical scholars explain that Adam and Eve had other children besides Cain and Abel. In fact, the Bible mentions in Genesis chapter 5 verse 4 that, after he fathered Seth, Adam lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. So, Cain's wife could have been one of his sisters or even a niece. But this raises another uncomfortable question. Was incest, then, a common practice among the first humans? And why does the Bible seem to accept this? For many, this might seem disturbing, but in primordial times, before the Mosaic laws, the concept of sin was different. God had commanded Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. Therefore, the union between close relatives wasn't viewed with the same taboo as it is today. After all, without such multiplication, humanity would never have expanded. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. The narrative of Cain and his wife may tell us more about the symbolism of sin, redemption, and humanity's fate than about simple genealogies. Could this story be more of a metaphor for the human condition than a literal record? Now, let's dive deeper. Imagine Cain, the man marked by the first mortal sin, as a symbol of fallen humanity, wandering the earth in search of redemption. The union of Cain with his wife, perhaps his sister, could represent something much greater. The continuation of humanity even after sin, the need for redemption, and the constant struggle for survival. What do you think? Could the story of Cain and his wife be more than just a genealogical detail, but a reflection of our own spiritual journey? There's another question. Could there be ancient texts that reveal more about this story? Some apocryphal texts and Jewish traditions suggest that Cain's wife could have been a symbolic figure or even a representation of humanity itself. Some believe that this union was the beginning of a new lineage of humans, those who would live under the mark of sin and the need for redemption. This wouldn't just be Cain's story, but the story of all of us. In Genesis chapter 4 verse 16, we read that Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. But what does this really mean? Did Cain, by marrying, begin a lineage of men and women separated from the divine presence, wandering the earth without God's grace? Could Cain's wife, then, symbolize this separation of humanity from its creator? This brings us to another reflection, the mark of Cain. What does this mark truly symbolize? For many, it's not just a physical mark, but a metaphor for the condition of humanity, a humanity that, ever since, carries the weight of sin and searches for redemption that always seems just out of reach. And what if Cain's marriage symbolizes the beginning of that search? The beginning of a lineage of men who would carry this mark, passing it down through generations until a final redemption would come. So, what have we learned from this story? Are we just trying to figure out who Cain's wife was, or are we searching for something much bigger, a response to the human condition? After all, the question of who Cain's wife was may be more than just a historical curiosity. It might be the key to understanding what it means to live with the mark of sin and to seek, relentlessly, for redemption. But this is only one piece of the puzzle. There are many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and the next one might be even more shocking. In our next video, we'll explore the shocking discovery inside Noah's Ark in Turkey. What was found inside this ancient relic? Could the story of Noah hold secrets we still don't know? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss this astonishing revelation. What's hidden inside Noah's Ark? Until then, keep pondering humanity's deepest questions here on Beyond the Bible.